You had a rough night tonight. How relieved are you right now that it's all over?
I'm so relieved that it's over. Yeah, so if I feel like someone is upset with me or frustrated with me, it does stress me out. So I was stressed out for the whole first half of the show. And so I feel like it was a good thing that it was brought up, the issue, drama, whatever you want to call it, between me and Becca, so that we did have the chance to talk about it, because obviously we've spoken after the show, but we haven't gotten to talk to each other after the Italy episode. So it was very stressful at first, but I'm glad that we got to talk about it. And then after that, I felt like I could just enjoy myself and have fun and make fun of Arie.
All right, good. I'm glad that you feel relieved. Do you regret even bringing up her age or your concerns about her on that date?
I can't say that I regret it, and I've thought a lot about that, because in that moment, that's how I felt, and I felt that was important. And I feel like if I said I regretted that and wish I wouldn't have done it, it would negate everything I said. And I did bring up her age, but it's not just about her age. It was about other things that were going on, and I didn't want to put her on blast on the freaking stage earlier, but I felt like people weren't going to understand where I was coming from unless I just put it out there, and I'm glad that that's over with.
I got it, and believe me, I have done what you have done before, and people are like, how dare she talk about another girl with the guy? Well, sometimes you just can't help it, and you really feel like you're doing the best thing you can be doing.
Yeah, no one wants to be the petty Betty, and going to the lead and talking about concerns that maybe he knows about, maybe he doesn't. But I feel like I would have regretted more not talking to him in that moment than I did actually talking to him about it. So I know.
I don't regret my tattletailing moments either, if it makes me feel any better.
Yeah.
All right, going into tonight, I feel like you may be a front runner for the Bachelorette. Do you think tonight helped your odds, hurt them?
I don't know if it helped or hurt my odds. I didn't expect to be in this position having any conflict with anyone, but it happened, it was there, and I feel like me being sent home was a very raw and real moment, and America loves tears. America loves vulnerability, and that's how I feel like I was. So, if it's what the fans want, then whatever. But
You talked tonight about regretting the way you left. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. I feel like when I left, I reverted back to how I've felt in prior relationships, of feeling like I wasn't good enough or feeling like I did or said something wrong, instead of realizing, okay, this is a mutual thing. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just about the connection that we had. And I feel like I wish I would have been just like a badass and been like, okay, deuces, I didn't really care, but that wasn't the case. I was very upset, and I wanted an explanation from him, and I felt like I had to pull it out of him, because he didn't really give one to me.
Do you feel closure now?
I do. I feel more closure now. Yeah, it's still just freaking crazy.
Yeah, when you were up there, I kind of felt, I was like, I think this girl was in love with him, and I think she might still be in love with him. How did your heart feel when you saw him walk out on the stage today?
When I saw him, it was strange. It actually felt just like seeing an old friend. Like, I feel like I've been disconnected from it for so long. Like, those emotions came back watching myself bawling in a limo. But when he came out, I was just thinking, okay, this is good. I don't see him in a romantic way anymore. And I'm happy as long as he's happy.
Now, fun question. You're friends with Raven. What kind of tips did she give you going into this?
Raven told me, it feels like such obvious things at the time, just to be open and honest and be myself, but that was something I struggled with a lot in the beginning, especially with the cameras around. And there were moments of confrontation with Crystal in the beginning, and I thought, okay, what would Raven do in this scenario? She would not back down. Like, she would stand up for herself if her character was in question. So I kind of used that and pulled from my Raven vibes a little bit. So
I'm sure that if you do decide to do Paradise, if you don't get the Bachelorette role, she's going to encourage you to do that, because she and Adam are still going really strong.
yeah, I love her and Adam together, and it makes Paradise seem like a good, real thing. Like, because I'll be honest, the times I've watched Paradise before Raven, I thought this show is silly, it's crazy.
You thought I was silly?
Right, they're just making fun of the whole process, but it can work. And we've seen it. Carly and Evan are married and have a baby on the way. Were Jade and Tanner on Paradise?
Yeah.
Exactly.
A life is in this world because of Paradise.
Exactly.
2 lives. 2 lives.
It can
And last question. What is the hardest thing about being in this Bachelor bubble? Living without phone, internet, access to a Sephora?
Yeah. The hardest thing about being in this Bachelor bubble is only getting advice and this kind of affirmation from producers.
And cast, which also
cast.
not necessarily on your side.
Right, which is hard to go to the other girls for this advice and to talk to them about how you're feeling. You don't have your family and friends to go to. You can't creep their social media and see what they've been doing. So it is very difficult, but at the same time, talking face to face with someone is so much more meaningful, even with the girls. I got so close with these girls because we were actually talking face to face and connecting with each other. So it is difficult not having a phone or having that outside approval, but it also makes you very in the moment and sincere with how you're feeling.
That's why we're all obsessed with each other and we're so cliquey. It's
Exactly.
because we have a different bond than anybody else can imagine.
This until you do it.
Right.
I fully believe that.
All right, Tia, thank you so much. You're so